See what I mean? Me, paying attention, everybody else, not. I'm amazed they let someone with this problem be the boss of a school. All right now, Clementine, Principal Rice said in her "I'm trying to be patient but it's getting harder" voice, "Why did you cut off Margaret's hair?" I was helping her, I said. And then I told Principal Rice about how I helped her too. I answered the phone while you were gone, I ordered some new school pets, and I told the gym teacher we are never going to play dodgeball again. And I made 2 appointments for you. The phone kept going dead, so I guess it's busted, but at least I helped you a little. And that's what I thought. There is a look they teach persons to make in principal school that is not very nice. Okay. A little reading of Clementine there for you. All right. It's a clear picture. I love this student. I can relate to her. It's a clear picture of what goes through these students' heads. The thing that I want to illustrate from this reading is the intention of these students. And I think if you know many of them, despite the frustrations that we've pulled out amongst ourselves about them, we can say, in most cases, without a doubt, that the intention of these students is sincere. Yes? It's sincere. She didn't want to cut Margaret's hair off. She's doing her best to pay attention. It's sincere. Okay? So why do we become so mean to them? Why are people so mean to me? Okay? And for those of you who just entered into our family from that gorilla test, you'll find out how mean this world can really be. Let me get to the meat of the lecture, something you can take back with you. Okay? I'm going to take each disability and I'm going to attach a musical concept behind it and a strategy that you can use in your classroom when you leave this lecture today. Okay? And take it that there are probably hundreds and hundreds of strategies out there, and it doesn't discount the strategies that are working effectively for you. Okay? But if this helps you to begin to understand their abilities and redefine their gifts as not disabilities, then we've done something today. Okay, so here we go. ADHD. Okay, ADHD, hyperactive disorder, attention deficit hyperactive disorder. Okay, how many of you are familiar with ADHD? So that's the strategy for students with ADHD. They have the gift of being able to learn multiple instruments, multiple disciplines in music. I have found that, and I think that it will translate very well into the classroom. Okay, dyslexia. Anybody work with any students that are dyslexic? Okay, dyslexia. Dyslexia, it kind of has a soft spot in my heart for dyslexia. Dyslexia is kind of cool because these are the composers, these are the arrangers of music. Okay, turn to your neighbor. I'm sure every one of you has wanted to be a superhero at some time in your life. Turn to your neighbor and tell them what superhero you've always wanted to be and what superpower you think they possess that you've envied. Go ahead, turn to your neighbor, tell them. I know, it's embarrassing.
I built this school where mutants could learn to focus their powers in a positive way. I also learned that mankind was not evil, just uninformed.
All right, mankind is not evil, just uninformed. Okay, all these students that we have, that we're working with, they're unique. And they do possess a superpower, something that we all envy and covet. Earlier I asked today, how many of us would like to have the ability to multitask? How many of us would like to have this ability to move things spatially in our minds so that we didn't have to go through the rigorous motions of trying to make things fit? These students possess this ability naturally. It's unharnessed. They're not mutants. Okay? But they know that they're different. Okay? Now here's the problem. When they know that they're different, okay, and then we say that their difference is a disability, okay, then they begin to think that mankind is evil. Everyone's out to get them. Okay? But when they start to realize that it's not a disability, but an ability. I mean, a super ability that needs harnessing. Then they begin to think that they're an X-Men. They're a superhero. They can do things that nobody else can do. They can do things really fast. If you help them and you teach them and you show them how to do it, they can do things, they can move things around in their mind. If you help them, if you teach them, if you show them how to do it, as they begin to understand their ability and how uniquely different they are, we start to make unique rules for them. Lots and lots and lots and lots of unique rules. And I found that the rules are the reason why we can't implement strategies. There are barriers put up in front of us that stop us from implementing strategies. There's no way in the world they can remember all these rules. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, I have just 10 classroom rules. You have 10 classroom rules for that student, for that class. But I bet you have made 1,000 rules for that student and you don't even know you did. Thousands of rules. And each one of those rules is a hurdle that that student has to go over to begin to use the strategies that I've presented today for you to implement in your classrooms, in your homes, in your families. I want to do one more reading for you today. This is another one of those books that people gave me and said, I found a book that reminds me of you. I'm like, yeah, thanks. Okay, this book right here is one of my favorites, called 17 Things I'm Not Allowed to Do Anymore. Okay? And I think you will relate to this person here. Let's go. All right. I had an idea to staple my brother's hair to his pillow. I am not allowed to use the stapler anymore. I had an idea to glue my brother's bunny slippers to the floor. I am not allowed to use the glue anymore. I had an idea to tell my brother he'd soon be eaten by hyenas. I am not allowed to tell my brother's fortune anymore. I had an idea to walk backwards all the way to school. I am not allowed to walk backwards to school anymore. I had an idea to do my George Washington report on beavers instead. I am not allowed to do reports on beavers anymore. I had an idea to dedicate my report to all beavers that ever lived. I am not allowed to dedicate my reports to beavers anymore. I had an idea to tell the class I personally owned 100 beavers. I am not allowed to say that I own beavers anymore. I had an idea to show Joey Whipple my underpants. I am not allowed to show Joey Whipple my underpants anymore. I had an idea to set Joey Whipple's shoe on fire using the sun and a magnifying glass. I am not allowed to set Joey Whipple on fire anymore. Oops. I had an idea to walk backwards all the way home from school. I am not allowed to walk backwards home from school anymore. I had an idea to freeze a dead fly in the ice cube tray. I am not allowed to make ice anymore. I had an idea to wash my hands in the dog bowl before dinner. I am not allowed to wash my hands in the dog bowl anymore. I had an idea to give my brother the gift of cauliflower. I am not allowed to give the gift of cauliflower anymore. I had an idea to order a different dinner from my mother. I'm not allowed to pretend my mother's a waitress anymore. I had an idea to tell the sad story of a mother who fell into a volcano. I'm not allowed to tell the sad stories about volcanoes anymore. I had an idea to pretend I'd been struck deaf when I heard, "Go to your room." I'm not allowed to pretend I've been struck deaf anymore. I had an idea that I might run away to live with the kind and happy beavers. I'm not allowed to talk even a little bit about beavers anymore. I had an idea to say the opposite of what I mean to trick everyone. I'm sorry. I am not allowed to say the opposite of what I mean forevermore. Okay.